Impressive batting lineup, full of stroke makers, and while the big names are up there in the order, I'm looking forward to seeing whether Kambli can emerge from the shadow of his old schoolmate, Sachin Tendulkar. A lot of talk coming into the one-dayers on the makeup of the New Zealand side going into this series. Hardly surprising, really, given the team's record of late and the absence of the likes of Pringle, Jones and Astle from the squad of 14. Brian Young is dropped to make way for Mark Greatbatch to open the batting, with Martin Crowe making a welcome return to the side. Justin Vaughan holds his place there, and Murphy Sewer that takes the field despite being suspended by his association last night. The day dawned fine and clear, and Ken Rutherford won the toss for the Kiwis and decided to bowl first. We pick up the action with Danny Morrison bowling to Jadeja.
And it's a good one too. A little bit of movement there. Martin Crowe back in the New Zealand side, and he will open the innings with Mark Greatbatch later on today, coming off that wonderful performance in Christchurch, where he scored 240 odd runs without being dismissed. Straight down the leg side, then this may go to the boundary. A sprawling save. Oh, it's well pulled in by Murphy Sewer. That's good play by the left armour, and Jadeja gets 2 runs, so that's the end of the first over. So 2 runs taken off of a very good first over from Danny Morrison. And a very interesting development here at the non-striker's end, at the bowler's end at least, and it looks like New Zealand are going to open with Shane Thompson. So we're going back to the old World Cup days of starting with an off-spinner. New look team, new look tactics. New Zealand trying to turn things around after their disastrous run in one-day cricket of late. Well, he's gone over the top, and that is 4 runs, beautifully struck by Tendulkar. Thompson gave it the air, and away it went. 6 off the over, 8 without loss. LBW appeal. I think he got a nick on that. Morrison pulled out of the appeal. Good ball all the same. Into the 3rd over, 8 without loss. Goes over the top again, and he's got it away. Very similar shot, and that's another 4 for Sachin Tendulkar. He's a marvellous batsman, we know that. Dropped it a bit short, and he's punished. 2 boundaries in the over from Tendulkar, and after 4 overs, 16 without loss. Just the 2 runs so far off for Danny Morrison. That's away through the covers, over-tossed, and the Indian batsmen know what to do with those, and it's gone. 5 overs bowled, 20 without loss, and it looks very much as though the experiment of using Shane Thompson has been abandoned, and so we're back to a regulation start.
Look at that profile. He's Sachin Tendulkar, one of the great players of the world at the moment, averaging just around the 36 mark, 21 50s and 300s.
It's marvellous stuff, isn't it?
New Zealand too. I said there in Baroda one day.
So Tendulkar, Murphy Sewer the bowler. And well, they're looking for a quick single. This might be tight. He's hit, and we're going to have the 3rd umpire. Well, that was Mark Greatbatch running in. A very tight single indeed. We'll have to wait.
Well, this is Jadeja running to the danger end. Tendulkar called him through. Just dropped it down in front of square. Thompson's the fielder, and he's got to be on target. And Jadeja's not in the frame. In fact, he's... Well, that's pretty close, John Morrison. We'll have to have another look at that one again. The ball seemed to take an eternity to get to the stumps. I thought he was well gone at first, but it's going to be touch and go. At what point is the bail off the stumps? And I think it's off there and the bat's short. So I'd say that's gone. That could be the red light for Mr. Jadeja and a breakthrough.
Well, it is. There it is, the red light. It was very tight indeed, but the picture didn't lie. So Jadeja, the first wicket, is gone. And in lose their opener, Jadeja, 20 for 1. So the new man, Sidhu, is taking guard, and India lose their first wicket, a run out. Shane Thompson, he had to hit, it was so tight, but now we'll have a look at normal speed. I think you'll find how difficult that was for the umpire, and thus the third umpire. So a run here, Sidhu underway, down to Danny Morrison at fine leg. And Azharuddin suggested that he would have bowled had he won the toss, and with the forecast the way it is, and you've kept a close eye on that, haven't you, Smithy?
Absolutely, as always, John. I never get it quite right, but look at that record there. Sidhu does get it quite right. 23 50s and 5 centuries in one-day cricket. I thought Tendulkar's record was pretty impressive. That's even better.
Very strong batting lineup, this Indian side. Oh, that one reared a little. That surprised Tendulkar. Took the hand off the bat, and that's a promising sign for Murphy Sewer.
He made the decision to go on the front foot very early, and it did bounce a wee bit on him, perhaps a little more than he did suspect, but I don't think it was a cruel bounce or dangerous bounce. I think he's a little fella, Tendulkar. He's not exactly the tallest batsman around, and anything that does bounce a little bit can cause him the odd problem or two as opposed to a taller man.
So Murphy Sewer into the attack from the northern end of McLean Park. Oh, let that one go. That was a bit tight in. There's an appeal. I don't think it's out, no. But anxious moments. 21 for 1.
Last ball of the previous over. Minor points victory here for Murphy Sewer over Tendulkar. He's shaking him up with one on the gloves. Then he's got him in two minds, and he's angling that one back in. Unfortunately for Sewer, not quite enough. Good shout, and something for Tendulkar to think about.
We're looking there at Danny's profile. 71 matches, 87 wickets. Probably not a lot for the way that he has bowled. He has really bowled well in one days for New Zealand over the years.
Oh, it's in the air. Is he going to be out? He should be. And yes, he is. Tendulkar is gone. Shane Thompson, the catcher. He tried to hook Danny Morrison. He didn't get hold of it. It went high in the air, and Shane Thompson hovered for some time, but he took it safely.
Yes, I think Murphy Sewer can take a little bit of credit for this wicket as well, but Morrison has bowled well this morning. He's bowled nice and straight. Tendulkar just ran out of patience, really. I think he was upset by the previous over, and he skied that attempted pull shot, and Thompson safe underneath it. And joy for the New Zealanders. They've got rid of their danger man, and they are now 22 for 2.
So Murphy Sewer about to bowl to Azharuddin, the skipper. They crossed while that ball was in the air. I just wonder about the height factor, and of course it is a no ball if it's above shoulder high. That suggested it was coming close, the dismissal. Not a bad delivery, first up.
Well, let's consider this one then, John, shall we? From side on, remember Tendulkar, just a little fella, and his stance has got to be above shoulder height when he's standing up tall. I think that was around chest height. I think that's a fair enough decision. In the end, it was a very well judged catch from Shane Thompson. Not only did he have the ball to worry about, he had to worry about who hit it and how valuable a wicket it was to go.
Yes.
So with all those considerations, he's smiling now about it. I think for 2 or 3 seconds, he was a little bit worried. Well, talking about good records, this isn't too foul either, is it? Look at that average up around the 36.5 mark, 28 50s, 300s, and look at the matches, John, 188 matches. Fine record, fine player, Mohammad Azharuddin, in all forms of cricket.
And a very pleasant chap as well. There's one run here just behind square. Shane Thompson after it, but he doesn't get to it. Coming back for 2, and they get home safely. Adam Perori throws himself at the stumps. Good piece of fielding. Well, Sancho corn chips, looking for the formula perhaps. It's a bit like me when I'm going out to bat.
Well, it does look a bit like Gren Alabaster, the manager, doesn't it? The old headmaster, the old school teacher. Their nose might have given away something as well, too.
Yes, poor old Ken. Slower ball. And that never seemed to arrive. I think Azzaruddin was unsighted for a moment there. He was a bit bemused by the whole affair.
Yes, he's still indicating that he didn't really pick it up. I think that delivery held back well by Morrison.
Good straight delivery, but really Azzaruddin is very good at whipping it away on the leg side, and he picks up 4 and shows his skill in that area. But I don't think the bowler was too amused by the whole thing. Danny Morrison.
It wasn't a bad delivery from Morrison. There were cries of catch it from the New Zealanders. He just lifted it a shade, and the fact that if he'd hit it a little bit further behind square, then Thompson would have been in business again.
30 for 2, change in commentators. Peter Sharp and Glenn Turner coming in.
Thank you, John. A very good morning to all of our viewers, and a good morning to Glenn Turner. Ball, it's hit well, it's hit high early on, of course, the field up inside the circle. And no difficulty there for Navjot Sidhu.
Yes, and good morning to viewers. The width here is the thing for Navjot Sidhu. He decides it's up there, so just swinging through and quite safe. The only risk he had is it going down to third man, but it went square enough. Well, the Indian pair there, you see Sidhu smiling, but frankly, he wanted a run. He ran halfway down the pitch, and it looked as though there was some ball watching going on from the non-striker. You can see Crowe made a very good stop there, but there was always one. But Azza was having nothing of it.
Azzaruddin hitting where he hit so strongly, square of the wicket. And the two of them have been watching the ball, and that's very poor running between the wickets. And excellent fielding from New Zealand. The end of the over, 39 for 2.
Now this is Crowe, and it looks as though he's being replaced. So Crowe is going off. For how long? We'll keep you updated. And so Mark Douglas comes on as the reserve fielder for New Zealand.
Well, he took a bit of a dive a while ago, didn't he, in the field when he fielded the ball at point. And then when he went for that run, chasing the ball, the last ball of that over, I think he might have just stretched something there that wasn't entirely what he was wanting. I must say, though, that he looked in absolutely marvellous trim in the match Wellington-Canterbury, completed over the last few days. Oh, it's in the air and a fairly uncultivated shot from Navjot Sidhu.
Yeah, Sidhu tried to blast this one straight over the top and didn't get hold of it at all. Tried to hit it straight down the ground, and very fortunate not to hold out.
Well, they're going for one. There's a mix-up here. Can he get back in time? They've gone for the third umpire. Well, Sidhu wanted it. Azzaruddin did not. And he really struggled to get back.
Yes, a lot of controversy out there. Misunderstanding running between the wickets. It looks, well, he's okay. He's okay.
Sidhu on strike. He goes over the top. He's got hold of this one reasonably well. It should go for 4. And yes, staggers to the rope. So Gavin Larson moving over the top. He's often just short of a length. He's difficult to do that too. Well, it's down the leg side, and he catches up with it, and he goes very fine. Justin Vaughan after it. Long chase down there. They should get 3. Straying Shane Thompson, and Azzaruddin, he knew there were men in the deep, so he didn't hit it too square, just tickled it literally down fine on the leg side. So there's the Indian board, and they'll be hoping they can get things underway a bit quicker, but a good effort by New Zealand in the field this morning. Shane Thompson again, bowling to Sidhu. Really bare looking strip. They used it the other day for the Central Districts India game. Oh, that's a funny looking one, and I'm not quite sure what happened there, Ian.
Well, I think I am, John. I think you'll find he's got a big nick on this, and it's bounced off Adam Perori's gloves and gone behind him. Thick edge, bang, off the right-hand glove, ballooning away for a single. So that's a chance, I guess you'd have to say, a tough one, because it was hit pretty hard and it came off the edge quickly. Some days they stick, some days they don't.
And Azharuddin hits it over the top there, just behind square, where the man was out for Sidhu. So perhaps Rutherford will rethink his field now.
And you see there Martin Crowe, who left the field with an injury to a quadricep, and it's the left one, it seems, which is not the one where his knee has been troublesome. And here's a lovely shot from Mohammad Azharuddin, clearing the field. And now Rutherford has pushed that player back. Fleming's gone back to square leg.
Run. This was just 68 runs at the halfway stage. It really isn't enough, even though it did a little bit, and the ball doesn't appear to be coming on quickly. These two Indians have started to pick things up a little bit. They're running between the wickets, although never sure. They have been getting some sharp singles, and I tend to feel now that they've decided they will play some shots, and the field's starting to reflect it, certainly on the onside. So that's a good save in there on the offside.
Catch it, Rad.
Thompson flooding the ball well, and that's very well bowled by Shane Thompson. And Rutherford will be delighted. The Indian captain leaves. Success for Thompson. He tossed it up, flighted well, and that's the end of Mohammad Azharuddin.
Well, he likes the ball coming on, Azharuddin, and this pitch a little slow for him, doesn't get over the top of it. He struggled really throughout the innings to really get going. His 28 coming from 64 balls, and India lose their third at 79.
Vinod Kambli is the new player for India, and here's another very exciting stroke player. This is the 49th innings that he's had, an average of 42, so that's respectable. 100, 10 50s. And really is a very exciting player who I don't think did justice to himself and his talent when he was out here last year.
No, he didn't. And he didn't really do justice to himself in India in the last series there against the West Indies either, although the West Indies quick sorted him out with a short one. And the dismissal, Azharuddin just not getting over the top of it. Typical shot of his, flicking it from off stump or just outside. Very wristy player, as we all know, but the ball just not arriving, or him not getting quite over the top of it. So he holds out there to Rutherford. The loss of wickets often cost time for the batting team, unless they're able to work it around and give the strike to the batsman that's been there for longer.
Well, there's been some very good fielding, and Shane Thompson right up with the best of them. The bowlers have been very well supported here today. And here's a good example with Kambli looking for a run that, when it left the bat, certainly looked likely. Vaughan is continuing, but we're changing the commentary team up here. And Volkinis is back, but first of all, it's Grant Nisbet.
Thank you, Peter. 30th over. Kambli, he's got it away. That's 4 runs. Despairing dive by the New Zealand field, Shane Thompson. But 4 runs to Kambli. Held back, and Sidhu's gone after this, and he's got plenty of bat on it. 4 runs through mid-wicket. Oh, there was a signal there, and they never went. Sidhu couldn't believe it. Kambli stood his ground.
Well, I thought there was a single there from the minute the ball was hit. The fieldsman had to move, as we're going to see here, had to move quite a way to get to that, and there was always going to be a single there.
Well, that's in the air, and it's away down through the slips. That'll be 4 runs. No slips in at this stage of the innings, and Kambli gets 4. Oh, that's a beauty. A swinging Yorker. And Sidhu does well to keep it out. It's the end of the over, 98 for 3. Sidhu lifting through mid-wicket. There is a player out there, and it's covered. And 2 runs taken. Justin Vaughan had a good first over, conceded 1 run, but then went for 9 in his second. He's out. Ken Rutherford again. Second catch for the captain. And Justin Vaughan gets the wicket, and away goes Carmley.
Yes, we're seeing here on the bank of New Zealand replay, that ball was rather wide. Carmley really went for it. It was a slower ball too, and much fuller. And as you said, well, Rutherford took another catch. The breakthrough New Zealand wanted.
So Carmley, after a quick-fire 17, disappears. It's 107 for 4. New batsman out there now, and that's Manoj Prabhakar to replace Carmley. Experienced player, as you can see, 114 matches. Let's have a look at the demise of Carmley.
Yes, as we're seeing there, it was rather wide. That if he let it go, I think it may have been called wide, but he decided to go for it because he paid the penalty. It's a very good catch by Rutherford. He wouldn't have had a lot of time to see that.
Edge, oh, just wide of Perore. And that's 4. So Sidhu gets a rather streaky 4, but he'll take it.
Just typifies the commitment by the New Zealanders in the field today, where they have dived for everything, they've chased for everything, they've cut off. I reckon they'll probably save around about 15-20 runs in the field today with their commitment in the field, which is very good indeed. So it's very much a new look New Zealand side out there in their attitude and approach to the game. Of course, we should remind viewers that New Zealand have yet to lose a one-day international here at McLean Park, Napier. But of course, in the last 16 games that New Zealand have played, we've yet to win one. So it's a real contradiction.
Just chipped in the air, short of Rutherford. Richard, you said the bowlers have bowled well, but India's always looked likely to lose one to run-outs as well.
Well, yes, the run between the wickets at times has been a little bit indecisive. There has been a run-out, of course, that of Thompson, who got rid of Jadeja reasonably quickly, but there's been one or two other little misunderstandings and tight calls, and they've hit the stumps a couple of occasions, so that's all good news.
Oh, he has a wild swing.
But I think he saw the funny side of that, did Sidhu. But he's that sort of player. He likes to play the big shot. It's very much on target. Just got it to go away a little bit. The head goes up in the air from Sidhu, eye off the ball. Goodness knows where that would have gone had he connected.
Just clear of the fieldsman, Ken Rutherford, and doesn't quite make the boundary. Shane Thompson coming around from square. Does the fielding, but just over the head of Ken Rutherford. Big jump. And just moving across the stumps a shade, Sidhu. So 50 runs. Sidhu. It's been a good knock. He's held the Indians together. Wickets have fallen all around, and he's still there. And really, the hope for the Indian side does rest with this man. He's 50 not out.
So Sidhu, it's been a battle for him. He likes to play the big shots, but he's only been able to succeed with 4 of them. The rest of it, he's been running singles inside the circle, the odd 2. The strike rate just on 54.9, so it really has been a battle, but he's still there.
Well, that was a bit of a heave, but it's very effective. Gave him a little width, and that's always dangerous. You can almost hit it anywhere, and that's what he's done. Down to the mid-wicket boundary for 4. Well, he's hit that one on the onside, and he's gone. Ken Rutherford dives away to his right. It hung in the air for a moment, but Rutherford's done it again. He's picked up a catch, and India in further trouble. Prabhakar on his way.
Well, this is good bowling from Chris Cairns, because he's actually held this one back as well. It hasn't quite arrived for Prabhakar, and he's halfway through the shot, and in the end decides to carry on with it and just chips it up in the air. And that's a good sprawling catch from Rutherford, his 3rd in a row. 127 for 5.
New Zealand striking again, 127 for 5, and the new man, the wicketkeeper, Nayan Mongia. And hasn't played so many matches as some of the more experienced characters in the Indian side.
Interesting statistic there. The match is 23, but innings is 11. Shows how good the top order go for India. Batting at number 7, hardly gets a hit. Ken Rutherford, a good sprawling catch.
Sidhu's going to look for 3, and eventually, after a long contemplation, decides to go for it. But my word, that was very slow decision-making from Navjot Sidhu. He's done it in the air again, and once again, the fielders are there. Larson has his first wicket. And Greatbatch makes the catch, so one more Indian batsman succumbs to a slower pitch than they would like.
Well, charging there and trying to get it over the offside, as I've just really suggested, but not getting close enough to it. He should have bailed out of that shot. It wasn't full enough, and so Mongia goes 138 for 5 now. 6. Not full enough, and was committed to the shot irrespective, it seems. Didn't have a bailout option.
This time it's over long off, and Fleming won't get to that. That's a great shot from Navjot Sidhu.
Well, that's it. I expected it perhaps to come more towards mid-off than extra cover, but he does progress down the wicket and get that momentum coming forward, and with the ball far enough up, he is then able to hit it over the top into the offside. I'm surprised that hasn't happened earlier.
Sidhu down to long off. That's a good shot. Morrison might get it. Does it well. 2 runs from Sear's last ball. It's 148 for 6.
And just away from Mark Greatbatch, as that ball appeared to be a slow one from Larson, and it was completely mistimed by Sidhu.
Yes, it was very well bowled there. It was held back. Greatbatch really, I think, thought the ball was coming to him. We're seeing here on the back in his real play. Look at that, fuller and wide, and it just did a little off the wicket too. But Greatbatch was probably just a little slow coming into it. I think he thought the ball was going to be hit a lot harder. He was waiting for it to come to him.
Larson's last ball, and it smacked away to the fence by Kumble. A very good shot indeed. So Gavin Larson finishes his 10. 1 for 29. It's 156 for 6. Oh, that's brilliant. Ken Rutherford gets 4 catches. Sidhu goes to another brilliant catch by Rutherford.
Yes, we're seeing here on the replay, Murphy Sewer got it right into the pads, and, well, what can one say? It's Kenny Rutherford's day today, isn't it? And look at him waving to the crowd there. Seems to be some sort of confidence. It's been a great day for New Zealand on the field today, and you said Kenny Rutherford, 4 catches.
Sidhu goes for 73. It's 157 for 7.
Yes, we're going to see here that Sidhu, the man that was so important for India. Look at this catch. Time to affection, and he's delighted to have it. You mentioned a sore hand. When you catch the ball like that, or take a catch like that, I think it cures a lot of pains and aches.
As we look at the new man, Shavagal Srinath. An experienced player again, 71st one-day international, but not really noted for his batting, obviously. High score of just 14. Coming in at number 9 in the Indian order. So Danny Morrison comes back into the attack. A change of ends for him. Oh, not a bad delivery either. Trouble. Yeah! Gone out. Yes. That's another one gone.
Yes, well, I was looking here for the LB decision. I thought that had to be a useful shout. And, well, look, he's all sorts of trouble there. And, well, I think even if it hadn't hit the Perori, would have done the damage anyway.
Srinath out for 2, 160 for 8. New man is Prasad for India. 8 wickets down. Danny Morrison is bowling the 46th over of the innings. That's close. That's out. That was plumb. And Prasad lasts 1 ball.
Yes, for Morrison, we're going to see in the replay when we show it that Morrison was right up there Look, moving across his wickets, right height would have hit middle stump.
Doug Cowie gives him. Morrison has a wicket. Away goes Prasad for nothing. It's 160 for 9. Venkatapathi Raju will be the last batsman for India. And really the innings is crashing and burning. Let's go back to the run out affected by Mark Greatbatch.
Yes, we're seeing there, I thought that must have been a good shot for LB, but look at that, he was out by, well, there was no need to ask for the third umpire in that case. Well, and look at that, he ripped so far across his stumps, the height was right, the umpire had no hesitation. Morrison knew from the time it hit him on the pads that was his wicket. It's been a very good performance by New Zealand so far in this game.
Danny Morrison gets the last wicket. India are dismissed for 160.
A tail-ender's nightmare, a fast Yorker. And Danny Morrison bowls them so well. Very pleased with the end result.
Just have another look at this one. Raju completely beaten and bowled. And Danny Morrison takes his third wicket. And delight amongst the New Zealand field. They've had a great day in the field. Crashing into the base of the stumps. And India are all out in the 46th over for 160.
Well, all Ken Rutherford wanted for Christmas was a victory, and the Kiwis are in with a real chance. No real support for Sidhu there. Ken Rutherford was in the way. He took 4 catches, and the feeling would have to be that that shouldn't be enough. But we did see how the Aussies struggled to beat South Africa's low score, with Danny Morrison again leading the way for the Kiwis, and good support from the rest of the New Zealand bowlers. Well, having bowled themselves into a winning position, it's down to the batsmen. Can Mark Greatbatch repeat his deeds of the World Cup? Well, he's opening the innings with Martin Crowe.
Mark Greatbatch and Martin Crowe, who's coming out with Adam Perore as a runner.
Crowe returning to the New Zealand side after missing the West Indies tour, and after, I suppose you'd have to say, Bob Cunis, some doubt whether he'd play one-day cricket again after returning from South Africa.
Yes, but he's obviously had more treatment on the knee, and it's, from all reports, it's responded very well. And the pleasing part about it is that it's not the knee that's injured. He has injured one of his thigh muscles, so that's got to be good for New Zealand, because torn muscles do heal up.
It's been a longer delay before we can welcome the return of Mark Greatbatch, because, of course, not only did he miss the West Indies tour recently, but he did not go to India, he didn't go to South Africa, missed the West Indies, and he's back now. Well, he gets the first runs, Mark Greatbatch, and it might go all the way to the boundary. The outfield's quickened up. Raju doing a good job there, but 3 runs, good assertive running from Greatbatch and from Perore running for Crowe.
Yes, well, runs on the board for New Zealand.
Go back to Crowe, and Crowe immediately off the mark. And just for a moment, forgetting about the injury.
Yes, well, I thought he was going to take the single himself there, but that's just a natural thing to do.
He was just dropping short. Mandrake couldn't quite get far enough forward to get to it, but certainly a nervous jerk of the head from Mark Greatbatch.
Yes, we're seeing here just a little bit of sideways movement there, going away from Greatbatch, who was a left-hander. Not quite enough carry.
Oh, that's great. That's gone. That's gone out of the ground.
Barker here just tossing up on leg stump, and look at that. That's what people have come to see. That's the Greatbatch we know, and he certainly helped that on its way.
it certainly is. It's reminiscent of the World Cup and one of the great batch memories that we enjoy. And a good response from Prabhakar. Now that surely will be a no ball. That was over the shoulder. Well, I can't believe that. But no ball call. 11 for no wicket. Lovely shot from Great Batch. My word, that was a good shot, because he stood in his crease and just waited for it, and almost leaning back as he played the shot, he hammered it through extra cover. That's short too, and that's hammered off the back foot again. And the same result. Sidhu's going to chase it, but unavailingly. The week straighter, it was in fact, if anything, a better shot. It always looks a bit nerve-wracking to see the non-striker charging down the pitch, the striker standing there, and the first reaction looks like a complete mix-up, and you get two batsmen at the same end. But of course, with the runner out there, all is well off the pitch. And he's hit that well too. Jadeja is very quick. He might just haul this in. But oh, it's good to see the Central District's captain on his home turf, stroking the ball so well on a pitch, Bob, that the Indians struggled to find their timing.
Yes, but full marks to the New Zealand bowlers. I thought they bowled very accurately. Their length was good. The support of the fielders was very good, and I think that they did create a pressure by not giving the Indians too much room to play the shots. There was not too much room there for Great Batch, but he used whatever room he had very effectively, and the two of them pick up another couple of runs. Great Batch 21. 21 from 18 balls for Great Batch, a strike rate of 116. So who knows, perhaps he's back into it. Certainly looks like it. Very little room there. Yes, but he's a player that plays very well off the back foot, Mark Great Batch, and we're now seeing Prabhakar come round the wicket to try and push the ball into the pads of Great Batch. Bowled it leg stump.
Yeah. Full toss. More runs for Great Batch. So the end of a very productive over for New Zealand, and particularly for Mark Great Batch. 28 for none. And oh, that's a marvellous shot. No ball called, but I don't think it made any difference at all to Mark Great Batch. That was always going through extra cover.
Well, what a magnificent shot. He hit this on the up. Just shows you what form the man is in. What can one say? You've only got to look at the quality of the shot. He really put some bat on that. Very difficult for a bowler when you know that wasn't a bad ball. It certainly got whistled away to the boundary.
And the handsome strokes that we've seen. The 6 was off Prabhakar. This is this one here, where he picked him up off his legs and just thumped it over square leg. And then we've got these lovely shots here through the offside. So certainly got the crowd buzzing. It's really taken alive. Great Batch is lucky again, and it might give him another boundary. So once again, Srinath has something to think about as the over comes to an end. It's 36 for no wicket.
There's the formula. It's really impressive reading from New Zealand's point of view. The required run rate of 2.88. That only confirms the point that India really do have to bowl New Zealand out. They're not looking like it at the moment. Martin Crowe pulling this one. Won't go to the boundary. They'll get at least 2. They may get 3. In fact, they'll only get 2. Reasonably short boundary on that side. Mark Great Batch looked like he could never really bat properly again, and now here he is looking great. He's gone. Clean bowled. Just as I say that, he plays over the top of a foolish delivery. Mark Great Batch, he got New Zealand away to a flyer, but right up there from Prabhakar, sneaks through
Yes, this is one of the great Yorkers, this one. Mark Greatbatch will remember it, so will Prabhakar. Right on target, it's at the base of off stump. Fine little innings from Mark Greatbatch. He's got the Kiwis going 42 for 1.
Well, the skipper, Ken Rutherford, comes out at number 3, and he's played a fair few matches, Ken Rutherford, up to 115. Average not too bad, he'd like it a little higher. So Mark Greatbatch, just as I was saying how good he was looking, bingo, out he goes.
Well, if you want to stop someone hitting you around the park, you've got to bowl it on their toes, or at that length anyway. And you see from this angle as well, it's snuck under the bat of Mark Greatbatch. Couldn't get the bat down in time. The perfect Yorker from Prabhakar, the great answer that he'll be remembering.
Oh, it's up in the air. He's going to be out. Who's going to take it? There's some confusion. Goodness me. The bowler took it. The keeper wanted it. And total confusion. But at the end of the day, Srinath has taken the catch. And they're patting each other on the shoulder now. But the important point is that Martin Crowe is out.
Well, is this an action replay of the Indian innings? Remember, they lost their star player in exactly the same fashion. Just short of a length, maybe not short enough for Martin Crowe to take this shot on. And all he's done, look at the head go down from his point of view. Podore runs past. Now we'll look at this. This is almost a monumental error. And just a little reaction from the bowler to the wicketkeeper. I said mine, and I've got it. Martin Crowe's gone 42 for 2.
So let's have another look.
Yes, have a little look at the reaction. The poor old wicketkeeper, he's always in the wrong. Whatever he does, he looks up. He's saying, look, you wanted me to go for it? The other guy's saying, I called for it, I've got it. Let's forget it. We'll have a meal together later and discuss it.
So just 19 matches, young man of 21. A couple of 50s, no tons yet.
Full toss. Fleming knows what to do with that. That's 4 runs. He's too good a player to miss out on those.
Yes, he didn't hit it quite in the middle of the bat, didn't need to, but this is a poor delivery. Just a low full toss on leg stump.
No.
Hammered into the covers by Fleming, but there is a man there.
Fleming threw himself off his feet to try and force this one. He just lost a little bit of poise. He really launches himself at this shot off the back foot. Just throwing himself at the ball. We saw some good clean shots from Greatbatch. Seldom slogged, just hit the loose ball punishingly hard, found the gap, and it just whistled away to the fence.
Oh, he smacks that back past the bowler. That was an unusual shot, but a shot of real authority. And New Zealand's 50 is on the board in the 12th over.
It shows how he's feeling. This one, yeah, I think he used the word slapped. Probably is slapping it or crashing it back. Very unusual shot with half a closed face, as though he's looking to pull it, and yet the bat on about a 45-degree angle. It's unusual to see it go in the air back so quickly past the bowler. An indication of his attitude, though.
That's a beautiful shot.
Yes, it is. And that's the best of his shots, really, because he allowed it to come on, waited for it, and clipped it beautifully through the covers. You watch the positioning here, standing much stiller, moves a little bit, doesn't throw himself off his feet, and therefore stays very still with his head. Good timing, all poison control. Nice shot.
Now looks like we've got a bowling change here. Prasad is coming into the attack.
Yes, although I think the Indians would have liked to have bowled Srinath through. As I mentioned earlier, they normally do that. He just started to overstep, and the batsmen were starting to take to him as well. So very little choice for Azharuddin. He needed to bring on Prasad. Venkatesh Prasad, who tall man, as you can see. Gets a bit of bounce.
It's a great shot by Stephen Fleming. Magnificent shot. And he got it over the ropes too.
The signal is 6. Umpire King wasn't too sure. He was reliant on the New Zealand team in there, I think, who were the closest to it. It was a rather forthright shot, making something out of nothing, and not allowing Prasad to settle in at all.
Kumble's a lot quicker than Shane Warne. The ball isn't in the air for so long. He pushes it through, slides it through. We understand that 105 k's is about his pace. And that was quicker than any of them, and it's hit well by Rutherford. That's 6. The third of the innings, the first to Rutherford. And that'll do the New Zealand skipper a lot of good. It's 74 for 2. Rutherford had 4 catches today. Sidhu was easily the best of the Indian batsmen, the only one that seemed to come to terms with the pace of the pitch. And I think, to be fair, he didn't even really do it very convincingly. He stayed in for longer than the rest. He played some nice strokes, but the Indians paid the penalty for playing across the line. And Rutherford has done exactly that, but to a shorter ball, which gave him plenty of room to hit Prasad for 4.
His mind, but all was under control for Ken Rutherford as he clips it away behind point. And there we are. The 100 is finally up, but it's been a pretty good 100. Mark Greatbatch got the show underway with a sparkling 32. Good opening partnership, and there's the full board. And Ken Rutherford moves on to 23 with that shot. He just clips it over the infield again. There's a man out in the deep, so he'll only get a couple, will he? Yes. Oh, just clips the top of the stumps. Stephen Fleming's well home. Over the top it goes. He could be gone, and he is gone. So Cambley takes the catch down at long off. Ken Rutherford finally looking to hit Raju over the top, doesn't get it far enough, and he's on his way.
Well, this was a poor option from Ken Rutherford, having played a good one the ball before. There is a man down there in the deep at long off. He knew that, but he took him on. He tried to get inside out the little left-arm spinner Raju, and he never had enough way on it to carry Cambley, who's a good 25 to 30 metres in from the boundary. So in that essence, it was a poor option from Rutherford. He's gone now, and New Zealand 103 for 3.
So Chris Cairns has come out to the middle, batting number 5, and New Zealand has lost Ken Rutherford, as we just saw. 3 down for 103. Still a bit of work to do. It's not over yet.
And we'll see that Ken Rutherford has tried to take on the man down in the deep. That's Vinod Cambley. And in the end, we'll just see how far in it from the boundary he is. He's tried to hit it over the top.
Raju the bowler. Yep. Cairns hammers away, lovely shot. This will be 4 runs.
Well, with the field up, it's a pretty regulation sort of shot.
Top. Hold your heads.
Yeah, somehow I thought that Cairns wouldn't be satisfied to just push it around with the odd shot to the boundary along the ground. This one's up in the slot, and even though there's a long on back, Sidhu, Cairns knows that if it's in the slot, that he will hit it over the edge. His temperament is such that he doesn't like to be tied down.
Pulled away, and that'll go to the fence. Another boundary.
Well, we're just starting to show more and more now that the Indians didn't get half enough. And New Zealand have been very positive in their reply and their response.
Just 21 required now for New Zealand's victory in this game. Long-awaited victory it is too. Peter Sharp and Bob Kunis into the commentary.
Thank you, Grant. Well, it certainly has been long-awaited. These players out there now have to look back a long way to remember a victory. And it's Srinath back into the attack.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't a very good effort at all from Pravaka. And to his mortification, well, I carried that far. The worst thing that could have happened to him was if the ball landed just in front of the rope and stopped, so he had to chase it.
Well, they were going to get 4 anyway, weren't they? So just as well it did roll over the rope. Actually, it was a very poor effort there by Pravaka. Looked as if he didn't really want to stop it. This has been a big day for New Zealand. Perhaps this is the turnaround they need. There have been glimpses of New Zealand playing well at times in the last few games they've played, but they've got it together today and certainly going to do wonders for New Zealand from now on.
Oh, he's out. Oh, just Ezra just gets hold of it. It looked as if it was hot and he was trying to toss it away, but he held it. And so a wicket to Srinath. Cairns has gone for 25. And New Zealand have lost their 4th wicket.
Yes, we're seeing here that Cairns actually played that well, but he hit it straight to the fieldsman. And Ezra, of course, always had it under control, even though he was playing with it there.
So Cairns was just starting to pick up the tempo. And he'd hit Srinath for 4, and this time it was a bit close to him. And he flicked it. He hit it pretty hard, but in the air, and close enough to allow Mohammad Azharuddin to pull it in and keep control of it. Shane Thompson's the new batsman with Srinath to bowl to him. 144 for 4, 17 needed. Oh, he's caught. Srinath has another catch. Taken in the slip this time. Magnificent ball has ended Thompson. And I think that might have been Azharuddin again. But did he get back into slip that time, Bob? Did you see who did it? I think he was.
Yes, he was in there fielding, and we're going to see here, this is the ability that Srinath has. Look at the bounce he got there. It really climbed on him. And once again, that catch was taken very low down. It's a beautiful catch.
Isn't he a lovely mover in the field? Mohammad Azharuddin is really an expert field, particularly in the slips in the gully area. But an athletic man, well, looks as if he's given India just a glimpse of hope here with 144 for 5. 3 balls ago, they were 144 for 3. And Srinath has 2 wickets. This is the second of them.
Yes, we mentioned before that Srinath has the ability to get bounce out of the wicket. That one hurried on to Thompson. And as you said, there was a lot of work to be done then, and that was to catch it. That was a very good catch.
Coming forward to grab that before it hit the dirt. It looked as if it was going to land in front of him. And delight from Azharuddin and Srinath. So Perore with 108, his best score on the recent tour of South Africa. 550s. Very good average of 37.
Yes, we're seeing here once again the ball was too close. Perore trying to run it down. A one-day shot that a lot of batsmen play, but just got an edge on it, and the keeper did the rest. But a very happy Srinath, and it was very good bowling by him in that over.
Well, that over produced 4 runs from the first ball, and then 3 wickets in the over, 144 for 6. At McLean Park in Napier for a finish to this match, which for a moment or two looked as if it was just meandering to a close, but the over from Srinath which was the 29th of the innings, produced, there's the last wicket that fell, but that was the last of a sensational over, with Mongia taking the catch there to get rid of Parore. But previous to that, Thompson had gone for a duck, Cairns had gone for 25, Srinath has 3 wickets in the over, and New Zealand with just 4 wickets in hand now, still need 17, plenty of balls in hand, and it's Kumble. Well, Fleming with a single gets 50. It's his third 50 in one-day internationals. He's delighted, but can he and Justin Vaughan carry New Zealand through to a victory?
Well, I'd back them to carry us through to victory, Peter. I think New Zealand have done well enough in this game to win it.
And once it gets past Prabhakar, there's a chance for Vaughan to pick up another couple of runs. He's 4. It's 154 for 6 in the 31st over. I think Azharuddin will be a wee bit disappointed about the Indian batting today, because really the side didn't have enough runs to allow the bowlers. Jadeja ran himself out. Raju didn't have enough to play with, and therefore was under real pressure as Fleming hits the ball through mid-wicket for 4. So it's 158 to 162, and New Zealand have won by 4 wickets. The second match of the Bank of New Zealand series. New Zealand on target for the DB Draft Trophy. Fleming has taken them there with 59. With him, Justin Vaughan is 5 not out. And with 17 overs and 4 balls to spare, New Zealand has beaten India by 4 wickets here at McLean Park in Napier.
So a win at last for the Kiwis. Great batch as though he'd not been away, getting the Kiwis away to a flyer. Stephen Fleming again, all class, saw the Kiwis through, and some big hitting there from Chris Cairns. Although a few worries for the Kiwis, losing 3 wickets in 1 over, but getting there comfortably enough in the end. Well, Srinath was the man who rang those alarm bells for the Kiwis at the end there, those 3 wickets all coming in that 1 over, but really the Indians just didn't have enough on the board at the end of the day.
Line up with Chris Pringle replacing these